Speaking with some of the residents, they saw the flames, they saw the resident run out, and now obviously you can see a lot of people still here on the street congregating around. Residents say this curve is dangerous, as when cars like the one you just saw come up over this hill, they can't see the cars in the other lane. We've seen several pelicans since we've been here, and they basically just coast along from the dam until they get about so far down the river, and then they'll fly back to the start of the dam and repeat the process over and over again. Here at Handy True Value in Rock Island, you can see they have all of their salt kind of just laid out on these pallets. Now, since I've been here just about 30 minutes or so, I did an interview with one of the staff members inside, and I've seen a lot of the other staff members bringing out several pallets and a lot of these bags to people's cars. Yeah, as you can see, if you've been downtown Moline, East Moline at all today, you've definitely seen this train across the tracks here. Yeah, John, Streeter actually walking out of these doors here at the Rock Island County Jail. And when we asked for her thoughts on the charges, she refused to speak with us. Hi, Lisa. Would you want to answer a couple questions for us on camera really quick? No? Okay. This store is on the list of one of the ones that's going to close. So what are your thoughts on that?
Like I said, I would probably cry.
Hey everyone, I'm along North Shore Drive on the Moline side of the Rock River with Milan just across the water there behind me. Now, city officials tell News 8 they're actively monitoring the ice jam that's occurring here on the river. You can see this reads 122.7 degrees. And as you can see, we got turkey, we got gravy, we got mashed potatoes, we got some stuffing, I think, over here. Yeah, hey James, the roads are definitely still pretty slick out here. We are in Rock Island on 7th Avenue. Snowfall like this can make for a great winter view. However, it presents a huge challenge to some Moline residents who can't shovel themselves. All right, so while yesterday was the first day of tournament play, today is the last day you can donate to Birdies for Charity. I'm outside the Scott County Courthouse where Adriana Blake was sentenced today for the murders of Brian Goodwin and Amy Smith. Inside, family members sharing emotional statements before the judge handing down her punishment.
I'm struck by your wallowing self-pity and your attempts to paint yourself as the victim in any way that you possibly can. You're the victim because you're a woman. You're the victim because you suffered domestic abuse. You're the victim because justice was unfair. Ma'am, you're not the victim, you're a murderer.
Blake was given life in prison without parole on 2 counts of first-degree murder. She also faced sentencing on drug, robbery, and arson charges tied to the case. Prosecutors say Blake carried out the killings alongside her boyfriend, who's not yet been sentenced.
Look at it.
Family members telling the court the murders left lasting pain that no sentence can erase.
It's the beginning of the life I live now, forever without my sister Amy. It is also the end of my sister's hopes and dreams, the end of her breath, the end of her life, the end of hope for her recovery, the thief of her future.
You took 2 lives, and you still get to live.
With Blake's sentence now official, she'll begin serving her life term in state prison, her co-defendant expecting the same outcome. Well, this is Iowa's most recent influenza report, and as you can see, cases steadily rising as we hit the new year. We're up to 30%, nearly 1/3 of flu tests statewide now coming back positive, a level health officials say typically rises during the winter months. Emergency room visits for acute respiratory symptoms rose to 23.4% in the final week of December, up 7% from the week before.
When it gets cold, we come indoors more. We are gathering for the holidays, and that's when we start to see these viral illnesses start to ramp up. Additionally, people are traveling in from different areas. So as you mentioned, there's cases rising across the country for respiratory illnesses, including flu and COVID-19.
And while influenza is what health officials are dealing with most right now, new data from the CDC, which is what you're looking at right now, shows that measles cases climbed sharply throughout 2025. According to the CDC, more than 2,000 measles cases were confirmed across the U.S. last year, most linked to outbreaks and largely involving people who were unvaccinated or whose vaccination status was unknown. While that number is far lower than seasonal flu cases, health officials say measles is far more contagious and can cause serious complications, especially in young children. Now, despite the national increase, the Scott County Health Department says there's been no recent measles activity locally, and health officials say vaccination remains the most effective way to prevent measles, and they encourage residents to check their immunization status with their primary care provider. We're looking at about 17,000 power outages in the Quad Cities, Illinois area, and it is also now affecting the Quad Cities, Iowa, with about 1,600. And in Moline specifically, we're looking at about 2,500 outages. A lot of people without power, especially in our area, but even as you go, as we were talking earlier about our southern hometowns, a lot of outages out there, especially in Lee County, Iowa. As we mentioned, a third of people without power. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. We begin with James here in the Weather Center. James, some rain, some storms going on out there today, yeah? Turning things now to conditions outside. We're issuing a weather impact alert for tomorrow. Weather anchor Peter Warner joins us now to break that all down. Peter, do all these, house fires and everything we're seeing, is that anything to do with conditions outside? We have breaking news tonight. Within the past few hours, the Trump administration announcing they will federalize 300 members of the Illinois National Guard. Governor J.B. Pritzker saying he received the order from the Pentagon this morning. Now it's unclear when or where the troops will be deployed. Pritzker also saying the Department of War gave him an ultimatum to, quote, call up your troops or we will. A massive emergency response in Davenport after reports of a possible hostage situation. A caller first alerted our newsroom shortly before 6, saying it was, quote, unlike anything she'd ever seen. For the first time ever, Davenport has a charter school, Horizon Science Academy, wrapping up its first week with a ribbon cutting as Lieutenant Governor Chris Knoyer was in attendance. Well, Peter, we talked about 94 days until Christmas. What about Halloween? We're pretty close there,
39
too.
days.
39 days.
I'll remember this.
You got that one ready, yeah?
Got that one stuck.
Ready to trick or treat, huh?
Well, I love trick-or-treating, man.
Get some candy out there, yeah. Still ahead, guess who's back? Guess you could say they're loving him.
Wash
Car
it.
wash,
Not
why
surprised.
Yeah.
John Deere tractor. Oh, okay.
And truck eating overpass. Yes. See that one every day.